Now, children, you've studied about pollution and its effects, how pollution affects the environment, how it has been responsible for climate change, the global climate change, and how it has helped, it has in fact, how it has affected all life forms, how it has affected the health of human beings. So, the gaseous fumes from industries, the emissions from motor vehicles, burning of fossil fuels, they have made life difficult for the citizens. Every year you can see it also, and you must have seen it in the news as well, how smog covers Delhi. In fact, even Lucknow gets covered with smog. So, water also is getting polluted by the discharge of pollutants from industries, household detergents, sewage, offshore oil drilling, making it unfit for human consumption, and at the same time, it threatens the aquatic ecosystem. The soil too is getting polluted by the effluents which are discharged. Effluents meaning the wastewater which is discharged from the industries, the use of chemical fertilizers, the domestic waste, all these have polluted the soil. Therefore, it is very important that certain preventive measures are taken to check the growing menace of pollution. So, first, just a recap of what we had done. The vehicular pollution, because of the increasing level of air pollution, so, which is mainly because of the rapidly increasing number of private vehicles. Because the salaries of the people has increased, so the purchasing capacity of the people also has increased. So, per family there are two or three cars. So, as a result of this, the roads, the roads, you must have seen your colonies also, how they are choked with cars, uh, which block the lanes, the by lanes, they create heavy traffic jams. So, apart from creating jams, apart from making it uncomfortable in colonies, the vehicles are responsible, the vehicular emissions have negative effects as well. One is that they are affecting the global climate, and the other is the air pollution, which has serious health repercussions. So, the climate change is because of the increasing level of carbon dioxide. The greenhouse effect results from carbon dioxide. So, children, I hope you know what is the greenhouse effect. So, greenhouse effect, to give you a very simple example, when your car is parked outside in the sun, and after a few minutes, hours, if you enter the car, you feel it's very, very hot. So, the mechanism is that the car windows, they allow the sunlight to penetrate, but it does not allow the heat to escape, making it warm. So, in the same way, the Earth's atmosphere allows the sun's rays to pass through it, but it does not allow all the heat to escape, and more so because of the increasing level of carbon dioxide. So, this results in greenhouse effect, which is resulting in an increase in temperature all over the world. So, besides carbon dioxide, there are other emissions also like carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons, nitrogen oxides, particulates. So, all these are responsible for the increasing level of pollution in the cities. So, because of the increased level of pollution, you must have heard about the acid rain. When the rainfall takes place, the rainwater combines not only with the atmospheric gases but also with the various pollutant gases which are there in the atmosphere, which makes the water acidic in nature. So this acidic rainfall is very harmful for the plants, for the materials, for soil. So many of the big cities are affected by air pollution, which are caused by high levels of total suspended particulates, by carbon dioxide emissions, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide. So, as a result of this, it is very important to control pollution from all sources. But vehicles need special attention because they emit toxic fumes within our breathing zone. So, in today's chapter, we are going to study about methods of reducing vehicular pollution, and we'll see how when the vehicular pollution is reduced, how it is going to impact, in fact, how it is going to reduce the level of pollution as well. Okay, so various measures can help us to curb or to control air pollution. We cannot stop it, but up to some extent we can curb it, we can reduce it. So carpooling, it refers to the sharing of car journeys by persons traveling on the same route. So we are going to study about the advantages of carpooling. So here in this picture you can see it conserves fuel, it reduces pollution, and it saves a lot of non-renewable energy sources. We'll study how. So as I already told you, carpooling refers to the sharing of car journeys by persons traveling on the same route. So let us take an example. Supposing there are some of you who live in the same colony or in the same building. Supposing all of you are using separate cars, then instead of using separate cars, you can come by one car. So that is carpooling. The main advantages of carpooling are, first of all, when the number of vehicles get reduced, it will reduce air pollution by reducing the number of vehicles on the road, and thus it will cut down the vehicular emission. Secondly, it helps to save money in buying fuel and maintenance cost of cars, because when each and every family, when everyone takes turns in using their cars, then up to some extent it will save money. Then it saves petrol and diesel, and therefore it will save our valuable foreign exchange. Now, when people start carpooling, it will reduce the traffic congestion, and therefore it will prevent traffic jams. It will again reduce fuel consumption. It will reduce the commuting time, the cost of road repairs. The fifth is, so see children, the first 4 points are very, very important, and they should always be there in your answer. The fifth point is that when people travel, when carpooling is done, then it helps the people to utilize their time. They can check their emails, they can read newspaper, they can check bank balances, or they can simply relax. And the last point is that when people commute together in carpooling, then it will help to de-stress them. These days there's so much of stress in everybody's life that when people travel together, they can crack a joke, or they can build friendship. All right, so this way they can enjoy the ride together. So these are the advantages of carpooling, in which the first 4 points are most important. Now, next way by which we can reduce the vehicular pollution is by the promotion of public transport. In countries like Japan, public transport is very popular. It's not that the people are poor, people are equally rich, but at the same time they prefer to use public transport. So, public transport is a shared passenger transport service which is available for use by general public, and it is much more different from modes like taxis, carpooling, or hired buses. So children, public transport includes modes like city buses, trams, metro, passenger trains. So they are examples of public transport. So at present, the metro rail is operational in a number of cities like Delhi, Kolkata. Even our own city, Lucknow, has metro rail. Now let us see the main advantages of using public transport. First of all, it reduces the vehicular emission. When a lot of people start using public transport and they do not use their private vehicles, automatically it will reduce the vehicular emission. So, for example, one bus emits far fewer fumes than 20 cars. Similarly, train emissions of carbon dioxide per passenger per kilometer are much less than travel by car. So this way it reduces vehicular emissions. The second is that it requires 1/5 energy per passenger per kilometer compared to road-based transport system, particularly the private vehicles. So it reduces fuel consumption, and again it helps to save our valuable foreign exchange. Then it causes less noise pollution. It reduces the level of pollution, and it is eco-friendly, especially the CNG buses, for instance. It helps to save money spent on maintenance of personal vehicles. So when people start using public transport, then it will help to save money which is spent on maintenance of their personal vehicles. It reduces the traffic jams. It occupies no road space if underground, as you can see in case of metro how quick it is. Then the sixth point is it avoids the need to find parking space for private vehicles. It reduces congestions on roads, and therefore it reduces traffic jams and traveling time. So these 7 points are most important. The eighth point, children, is just a matter of chance. It's written it is safer to travel by public transport than by private vehicles, because it's just a matter of chance. Accidents can happen with public transport also and with private vehicles also. So children, in your answer, the most important points are that it reduces vehicular emissions, it reduces fuel consumption, then it is eco-friendly transport because in the sense it causes less noise, less air pollution, then it reduces traffic jams. So these are the main points of advantages of public transport.